Hi everyone, this is Ellie. The Eden Reborn event is now out, so please make sure to check the event duration and times in your own time zone, and I'll also have the link to the official announcement in the description or in the comment section. So without further ado, let's get started with the event. So first, in the lower left, we see Journey Story, which is pretty self-explanatory. These are the new stories for the event. We have 4 different routes here, and so new stories will be available once these certain city construction requirements are met, as labeled for each of them here, and you can switch between your progress in any of the routes at any time. So to fulfill these city construction requirements, we would go to city construction in the middle here, and here you can build or you can construct buildings by clicking in here and, for example, checking this, and it'll have these constructions. And here you'll see that you can, by constructing new buildings, you will increase prosperity here. And by this, the rewards would be unlocking the character stories, as mentioned, as I just mentioned, and also citizens' letters, and also new areas of the map. And you have to complete all of these buildings before you're able to move on to the next area. And so the citizen letters are technically hidden rewards, as in they don't tell you the trigger requirements, and so these depend on what buildings you have. And oh, see, I just got one. But these depend on what buildings you have and also your prosperity level. And you can build buildings. See, they require this sort of, what is this called? Oh, just building material. Okay, but they require this building material, and you can farm these in resource collection here. If we go, it's bottom right, resource collection, and there are 4 different types of farming stages. And so these 3 correspond to the 3 different types of materials you need to redeem rewards in the event shop, and then this mine is just the building material. Generally, you want to farm the 3 stages, these 3 here, that give the shop drops instead of just the construction material only stage, and since the others also give some construction materials. And so if we go in here, we have, per usual, our event bonus illustras that give boosted drop rates for certain materials. And so, per usual, try to use as many of these bonus illustras as possible. Again, check which ones are for each stage because they are different. And also prioritize redeeming the free Ayn SSR in the shop, which, let me go here, Eden shop here. Try to redeem the SR in the shop first, since that will give bonuses during farm stages. And so based on CN also, there is a hidden achievement if you clear out all 3 shops, excluding the gold coins, excluding these gold coins, I think, that gives 1 feather of dreams. And so if you haven't been hoarding stamina up until this point, it will be really difficult to clear out the shops without spending diamonds. So proceed with caution, basically. And then if we go to the top left here, Nightmare Invasion, that is the challenge portion, which will be available at a later date. And then if we look at the gacha, per usual, we have the rate up choice function. I already used it, but it's right here. If you wish for an SR, that one will be guaranteed in the first 10 points. If you wish for an SSR, it guarantees that the first event SSR you get is the one you choose, but also there is a chance that you don't get it in the first SSR. And again, the specific rates are listed in the details here. And so if you look at the SSRs, all comments are made from a meta and combat standpoint, and the text versions for the Illustrator guides are already available in our community Discord server, which will be linked in the description. So if we go alphabetical order, if we look at Ayn's first, this is a support type AoE that can buff damage over time, team damage, but otherwise provides minimal utility as a support and unremarkable damage as a DPS. And generally, it's not recommended to level or build this Illustra unless you have less than 5 SSRs. And so in terms of skill priority, honestly, none. However, if you play a damage over time team, you may consider leveling skill 1. And then if you wish to pair this Illustra with an Illustra that would benefit from effect hit rate buffs, for example, like with the freeze and stuff, you may consider leveling skill 2. In terms of enlightenment priority, it's pretty low, so it's not recommended to feed enlightenments, and you may stack additional copies. No positional preference on the team. If you look at the Lars SSR, this is a solid single-turn tanky healer that provides cleansing and some charging ability, or charging utility, and it works very well on auto. And so skill priority-wise, you want to max 1. However, if you're against enemies who apply damage over time frequently, you may consider raising 2. Enlightenment priority is generally low because it's not a DPS, or it's not a damage dealing Illustra, but slightly higher priority if you're an auto-only player. And so you can consider feeding alignments, but it's not recommended if your damage dealing Illustras have not been fed first and or you're short on resources, but it is recommended to stack additional copies. And actually a note about this one, this Illustra and Quiet Night, which is the Alkaid's permanent healing SSR, are the only 2 heal SSRs with all team cleanse as a skill. And then compared to Quiet Night, this Illustra is more versatile due to the kind of slight charging it provides in the ult, and then also it's less dependent on the ult level, just as a single turn heal versus healing over time Illustra. And also no positional preference. A note about healing SSRs, you generally only need 1 or 2 in your entire inventory, so if you're, short on resources or whatever, you can pull as needed. And then a note about the Pictura this time. 3-star one is increase initial ult charge, and then the resonance effect is increase Illustra's crit damage. So I've mentioned in my beginner's guide that the meta is to use initial ult charge increase Picturas and their resonance sets, and so this one I would recommend pulling if you do not have a total of 5 sets total of Pure White Garden or Princess Day combined. In this case, I would recommend pulling and locking multiple sets, and basically consider pulling however many you need to get 5 total of these 3-star ult charge Pictura sets. If you already have a total of 5 sets of Pure White Garden and or Princess Day combined, you may consider pulling like a few copies, like 1 or 2, but no more than 5, in preparation for crit-based teams or crit-based Illustras. But in general, Princess Day and Pure White Garden are still better and more versatile. That will be all for this video. Please like and subscribe if you found the video helpful.